My goodness, it is I. It is him. It lives. It breathes. It somewhat still exists. The Warrior Junior, he's here at what time? 3 o'clock in the morning? 2:49. So a very good morning, or a very late evening, or whatever you want to call it. It is, I am here for you. No, I slept most of the day, I think. I'm trying to think. I was up in the afternoon, and had a little something to eat, after. It would be nice if I could eat consistently throughout the day, like that's what you're supposed to do as a bodybuilder. But I get tired, and I think it's because of the eating too. Not designed to be big, you know. You know what this is, folks. You know what this is. No special ingredient right now, just the chai spice tea. Pretty good. Mm, kind of hot, but that's December the 1st. So why did I call this one December the 1st with an exclamation? I don't know. I kind of like, when a new month starts, it's, eh, um, yeah, rent's due. But, you know, I try to embrace time, like how fast everything goes and whoa, time. Um, Try to embrace time, and be like, all right, well, you know, holidays, even though I don't celebrate the holidays, I'm Jewish, but I don't celebrate Hanukkah. Don't care about Christmas. New Year's is New Year's Eve. Hmm, that's what it is. But Thanksgiving, all these days don't resonate with me. I don't hate anything, I'm neutral. I don't care. Just one of these things that I don't find the need to, do the same things like that are redundant and monotonous, like repetitive every year. It's the same story, I don't know. I don't believe it, I don't care. It's Halloween, it's just stupid. It's just all these days, they don't mean nothing to me, these holidays. July the 4th, understood, you know, Veteran Memorial Day, respecting the troops that have died, and that's different. Um, Veterans Day, the day before my birthday. But, I think what they should do is there shouldn't be a Veterans Day and a memorial. It should be one day for respecting everybody who served, veteran, and have lost. One day for that. It should be all in one day. 9/11 is not a holiday. You would think it would be for memory of, people that died in the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, all that, and the planes and everything. But if anything, 9/11 should be. But, see, I don't get it. A lot of things don't make any sense to me. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah, because I started with the days. I was trying to figure out. Apologize. You know how the light is. I think if I get one of those, I don't know what they call it, those lights that come, and turn. My uncle had one years and years ago. You can adjust the thing, and it's a good quality lamp. Get one of those. I think you get them for like $20 or something. So maybe, that and a new laptop. Hey, if you hear the sounds, the train is leaving the station. So let's talk positive. Let's talk good things. As far as me, I did square away one of my major. I had a lawsuit filed against me um, with the collections agency over a credit card, like $2,800. So I paid it all off. They said they're going to drop the lawsuit. I'm very happy about that. It's paid in full. You know. I already talked about this. I had no chance to be able to go to school if you got and get any type of loans if you're got an excessive charge off. In excess of $2,000. Yeah. So if anything, you can see what gambling can do to you. You know. I know they glorify it on television and they show it as fun and these people winning huge money, some people, but there's also a dark side to it where if you're kind of, I say compulsive by nature. A lot of people don't like to lose, and that's understood. But, you know, if you're the kind of person that say, hey, I can, let's say you lose $500 down at a card club or whatever, casino. And like I got, another 1,500 bucks sitting at home. I can get it from a com check or I get it from an ATM. I could try to win my money back. Remember, it's not your money anymore. It's gone. That 500 is theirs. But you see the ease of two factors, the convenience of you being able to go get that money, and the nature of you thinking that you could get it back, what you lost. You know, those, it's not good. And the way that they say that compulsive gamblers, you're not supposed to you're not supposed to carry large sums of money, have large sums of money at home for this very reason. Very easy to, for whatever reason, there used to be a thing called HALT, HALT. Are you hungry, angry, lonely, or tired? HALT, HALT. And they say that these were some factors that would drive people, compulsive people, to gamble, that have a gambling addiction. And it's kind of interesting, like I read all the literature and studied all this stuff, and they say, oh, it's not about the money, this and that, which for me personally, I disagreed about. I try to develop systems that, strategies and systems that would implement, but in the end, what wound up happening was, even though it worked for about a week, I was consistently making like $2,000 a day. Now it sounds like, oh wow, so you made, like, in 1 week you made 14 grand. About, yes, but here the problem herein lies: you're not understanding the you're sitting there and you're not eating right, and you're not feeling good, and still kind of stressful. A lot of money's going back and forth, and then on the 8th day I lost everything. I got wiped out. But what happened? And I said, well, instead of analyzing and trying to explain this game that I was playing, you know it's like I could just say the system failed. Like and it's not guaranteed it would work in every situation on a full table. We can write everything down and everything like that. Everything sounds so like, oh, it's going to work for sure. But there are what's known as extremes that happen. A spot could lose so many hands in a row, and you can keep trying to double up, and trying to bet, and then it just you get killed on that. It's gambling. It's gambling. It doesn't matter. Even these guys, they show you that do these football picks, and well, one team's got to win, and it's just the spread and the points, and you could. I understand it doesn't matter. It's just there's something about it that your energy and focus is being used, all your power. Instead of you investing in yourself, you're hoping to win. The key word is hope. I'd rather take my money and invest it in myself. I bought, went to Trader Joe's. These chicken enchilada things that I liked are like $8 each or close. I bought 3 of them. It's $24. They're good quality, nutrient dense foods. Supplements that I have, this type of beast branch chain amino acids. It's like $20 for this, bottle thing. You take like tablespoons. It's good fucking shit. I know, it's kind of hard to tell, you're seeing me kind of, half awake, like this is my clothes. It just depends. Clothes can make you look this. They can make you look that, depending. You know, if, you can have a decent body, but if you're not showing it right, it's kind of hard to tell. There's one wrestler like Lance Storm. Seen this guy? It's like, well, how big can this guy be? I'm seeing pictures, and I said, well, his build weight was 231 pounds at 5'11". I was like, well, he's 5'11". Okay, that's pretty fucking big. If he's really that with that weight, which he probably is. 5'11" is not far from 6 feet. It's about an inch. But you have to understand something. An inch in height is I mean, it's pretty significant when you're talking about your structure, and depending on your body structure. And the reason I kind of am talking about bodybuilding is I already mentioned the passing of Rhonda Lee a couple days ago, and then yesterday, earlier, whatever, today, last couple hours ago, I learned of the passing of Dave Draper, the blonde bomber. Wow, I mean, I was like, that hit me kind of hard. Definitely OG. You know, I think I'm trying to remember what contest it was. He got like, was it he got third or something behind Arnold and Sergio Oliva? Senior, the original. I mean, he's like the kind of like the reputation. I mean, he's well known if you're a bodybuilding enthusiast. But if you didn't know, like, a lot of people don't even know who Sergey Nubret was. I think he finished third in the 75 Olympia behind Arnold and Ferrigno. So, it's that's the thing about bodybuilding, like I mean, they were talking about some of these contests they did back in like the early or mid 70s when after, there was like a weightlifting or powerlifting competition. And at the very end, sometimes when it starts till 1 in the morning, they have like like a light hanging from the gymnasium, like one light, and that's where they hold a bodybuilding competition. Like, there's nobody there, 1 in the morning. It's kind of funny, when you think about it. It's like it gets no respect, like who gives a shit, you know what I mean? It's I can imagine like in a gymnasium, there's like nobody there. That's where they held the like Mr. New Jersey, whatever. I told you, like I went to natural shows at my alma mater at Fairfax High School. It was maybe 6 or 7 years ago, or maybe longer. I don't remember. It was part of a whole natural bodybuilding thing, and they had all these categories. All I remember was like Mr. and Mrs. Los Angeles, featuring the Mr. Hollywood. Then they had like bikini, and they had fitness, all these categories. And I said, natural, huh? So I said, I'm thinking of competing. And I looked in the thing. It's like, well, the entry fee was like really high. I think it was like $150 or something, really. And I said, wait, how many people are going to go and attend this thing? Is there trophies or money? And they go, well, not really. So I just went anyway to check this thing out, and they wanted like $20 to get in, and I think they let me in for free because I kind of like peek in my head. I said, "Oh, you went to this school?" And I said, "Yeah." So I go in for free. There's like nobody sitting in the auditorium. It's like one of the guys sitting in the back was like one of the judges. Um, he had all these people on stage, the women and some of these dudes they're pretty well built. I remember this one guy, if he was natural, I mean, I was like, good Lord, he would schooled me. I'm like, you know, right now about 170. Like I've been up to like 175. Um, just these, weight can fluctuate and everything, and you got to get really cut up and tanned and shit. I don't, like I like to look good in clothes. I don't even like wearing shorts. I'm very pale. As my legs, and the hair. I'm not a very superficial person. Bodybuilders are generally pretty superficial because it's all about, their looks. Um, I like to like look good in clothes. I feel kind of solid, and strong. That's good enough. I don't like standing there on a fucking platform, on a stage, comparing myself to other guys, and they really, are into this. you know, I, it's not my thing. I don't like, comparing. I mean, I've done many battle dance competitions, like done that stuff, and even that is all subjective to the music, the who's watching, the crowd, the friends, the elements. I mean, it's I've watched. I forget one of these kind of circle battle things. I got like all these young people, and then these two guys are going against each other. This one guy does a move, and all the people all in the audience go, they're all like it's one consortium of like they all saw it or something. It's like, well, he does this kind of move, you can't even see it, what he did, and just because one guy cheers and everybody, they're all their friends cheer, and then everybody in the whole thing that goes, oh, it's like a what do you call it, the domino effect, of nonsense, like of I mean, I was on the unfortunately, I remember some things that competitions I did. One guy, I guess, brought all their friends, and then they're all against me. It doesn't matter. Like I told you, like this one contest, this fat black woman, she's not even a dancer. She wound up winning like $300, and I guess they gave it to her because over this other guy and me because the whatever, like, oh, well, it takes a lot of cojones to get up there on stage. No, it doesn't. It doesn't take, I mean, well, it's just stupid, like you would think. And it's the element. It depends where you are. Like I said, it's factors. It's factors of you know, who's judging it, who's in the crowd is judging it, the music. It really depends. Like these factors can decide. Um, Now, I mean, skill is of course, I mean, I've watched. You can't. I don't care how many friends they bring and everything. Like if I'm battling somebody, I watch and see. I could tell if they're better than me, or if they're or how clean they are. Like their moves, um, to the music, and how much what I call is how much they have in their arsenal. Um, can they just do one style? Like, are they really, really good popper, like clean, and they can't switch it up if the music changes and that's it? Like, are they just a b-boy like with this? I mean, I cannot talk about styles I do not know. I really don't know anything about b-boying. Um, so, but if they're on their feet and they're doing something, I can tell you, like, what's tight, like, and how strong somebody is. Like, I mean, I know I've been around too long. It's like if I see somebody in the gym, I can look at somebody and I can tell you what they're taking. Not down to the fucking milligram, or nanograms per deciliter. I can't do that, but I have a fairly good idea when I'm standing next to somebody based on you know their size or whatever and their vascularity. I mean, I can tell you pretty much how long somebody's, if they really know what they're doing, if they're just taking, or if they're like competing, if they're lifting and taking. Like I can kind of tell. I know. I've been, I don't have to wonder. I don't care about genetics. You keep telling me. I mean, I don't want to really get into this Michael Hearn guy again, but again, he's a little older than me. Yeah, he's very serious. But you're not going to tell me that some just because somebody that his whole life great genetics and stuff like that, and he is not taking. Look, dude, you ain't getting on a stage um, nowadays, or even back in the days. If you do and you're not on something, you ain't gonna really look like nothing. Now, I knew Big Craig Monson. I knew him personally. I know him. I haven't talked to him a long time, but he talked when he was young. He competed. He wasn't on. Like, and I said, "What are you on?" He wasn't on yet. He wasn't taking. But he talks about his genetics. He said his family ancestry comes from the South. They were, slaves. They were, hardworking. And the blacks, they were. So this guy, he had tremendous genetic potential. He was already like 250. So when he started taking, he was up to 300. Like huge. I remember I know the guy from Dublin's. This is even when he was older already. I think he's like 72 now. But, it shows him like doing skull crushers with 315 or like maybe a smaller bar he was using, but it was like three wheels on each side. Maybe it wasn't 315, but it was fucking Jesus. Like wow. Three plates on each side, 345 plates. Shit. It's like Coleman, same thing. I remember. I think he was even competing when I was in high school. He was starting in 19. But somebody like that gaining. They say like a pro bodybuilder should strive to gain 10 to 12 pounds of pure muscle a year. On average, 10 to, that's good if you're kind of advanced. Well, times that times 5 years. You're talking about 60 pounds. That's like 50, 60 pounds. Can you imagine? A guy that's like, yeah, 215 or 220, and then 5 years later he's 270. So 260. So there you go. It's not just taking more. The advancement and then learning. So, there was guys started using growth hormone with different anabolics, so they were getting really huge. These guys are blowing up. I remember I saw Ferrigno maybe at a hotel once. I was like, wow, it's tall, big. Even to this day, you know, I remember the height of that guy. He's like 6'4", 6'5". He was up there. He was tall. But Arnold was Arnold. Even at 6'1" or whatever, he was so far advanced. Like for his time. Ferrigno is younger. And I don't care. He could take a lot of stuff, but it's like there's a knowledge thing that Arnold had on him, and plus he's connected with Weider. So that's all he had to do was come out really sharp, and it didn't matter. Like it's Weider's show. It's like guarantee. It's like that says you got it. You got it. As long as you come out really, and I remember like shows him on stage. He's like really cut. Tan and cut. For that for 75 Olympia or whatever. I mean, Ferrigno held his own. No, definitely, but it's. And Ferrigno got his opportunity with the Hulk, Incredible Hulk TV show. So not like he didn't make it like Arnold did in the movies. And I don't know why. I don't know. It just seems like what happened was Arnold had in the 80s. It was one movie after another. It was just a revolving door. Just a fucking snowball effect is the right word maybe for somebody that just kept getting opportunity after opportunity. And it's like if that's all you throw at someone, then it's kind of like it's a it does, I'm bumbling for words, but if that's all you're getting, like it's like The Rock. It's like one movie after another, and it's bankable, and people are watching. So you're paying this guy, so it's like it's just a machine that's going. It's all it is. It's like these people that have, they give them everything, and the people that don't have nothing, they don't give them anything. So it's like it kind of sucks that if you're an aspiring actor, or, let's say wrestler or something like that, and you can't get over, and McMahon, just let you go. Like, why? I don't get it. Like, why Chris Masters? Like, great. Like, what the fuck is going on? Ryback. What could have been the next Goldberg type? What happened? Like, what? And they talk about it. They're like, well, I didn't get the push. And remember Ken Kennedy. Another guy. There's guys that were good. Like that. were in the wings, you know, with all as these guys are getting older. Shawn Michaels, I mean, you know, it kept, you know, it's like McMahon just stayed with the same um, group of like 10 guys, you know, like Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Austin, you know, whatever, the same Randy Orton, Lesnar, you know, the same like group of guys, Triple H, you know, and like he just didn't allow, he didn't give enough time for these, you know, he was patient with other guys, Cena, I forget to dump him in, you know, but you know, it's just Rey Mysterio, you know, the same. He just doesn't, you know, like he wouldn't really. I don't understand. You know, you can't. You got to have like, and now, you know, he's just now you notice like Big E, whatever, New Day, Apollo Crews, or you know, these black guys. No, and you know, it's just it just seems like I don't have a problem with that. You know, it's just he's trying to cater to this, you know, Black Lives Matter thing instead of like focusing on, hey, wait, this is like WWE. This is not like political. You know, it's supposed to. The things that didn't work were really women's wrestling either. You know, you had like Tori Wilson, Trish Stratus, and like Stacy Keibler, real pretty. You know, and that you know, Don Marie or whatever. You know, but that's a little side thing. Then they started to push it up like to where it's like, oh, and they're like kind of the main event, the Charlotte Flair. No, 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 no. There's supposed to be a small little side thing in between, like you know, the main people want to see the real wrestling, the you know Lesnar versus Goldberg, you know that like WrestleMania 20, that you know I don't I'm trying to think like a couple years after that is when it like kind of like started to, and then I don't know, a couple like 3 4 years ago, I don't know what happened. Now they're banking everything on that Roman Reigns, who I thought, yeah, he's a great tribute, great asset to the company, but he's one guy. You know, you need to have about a dozen or more of something like that. You know, these guys, the older guys, it's too much for them. You know, they're. This guy told me they're like mules. You know, you got to bring in and you got to, you know, split it up to where instead of paying one guy like let's say 3 million a year, you got to say, look, man, you know what, you know you'll make the most, but everybody else will get less. You know, like you give, let's say you give the guy, your top guy would get, you know, a little in excess of 1 million or something like that. And then, but then, you know, all these other guys that are part of that you're trying to bring up, they could be making like 200,000, 300,000. You know, like if they're good, you got it, and you have like maybe 20 to 30 guys, like on a baseball team. You know, they've got, you know, the what is it? I know football 40-man roster, but you know, it's got to be something where you're able to make an incentive for these the newer people that have potential. I mean, the Eugene thing was a little cute. I remember that for like a little while. That was funny when they're gonna make Eugene an honorary member of Evolution. That was good. That was good. You know, the bottom, the idiot. You know, like he's of the evolution. You know, as much as people hated Triple H, he's still, you know, the epitome of, you know, of a modern day a hole. You know, like, and you need that. You needed that. I mean, Paul Orndorff was pretty close too. He was good. You know, like Ric Flair, and I never really understood that guy. Like, what, you know. I know in WCW, like his talking, woo, you know, look at it, I'm wearing this, I'm wearing the Rolex, I'm wearing a three-piece suit, I'm wearing this and that. He's got the glasses on, you know, I got it here. I can do the whole thing, you know, that he was doing. Here, we'll fuck around here. Hold on. Look at this. A limousine flying high, flying, woo, whatever, I don't, can't, I don't want to do the voice thing right now, but my point is that, and I have a picture. He took a picture with me. He was very nice to do that. Um, Man, that guy is like in financial trouble. Like I was published. Like he owed like the IRS like 700 grand or 800,000 or something like that. Probably didn't pay them like all the years that he was wrestling. He probably didn't pay. You owe them that much, he might have made some real money, but maybe it just compounded, and he thought, oh, they can't do nothing to me, I don't care, kind of thing. My uncle, same thing. They came to his house, they fucking arrested my uncle, you know, because he made some real money, and he didn't kick down. The IRS, they take their chunk. Erwin R. Shyster, Mike Rotunda. Okay, so, okay, so but Ric Flair didn't pay apparently, and they threatened, like it's like jail, like if you don't pay, and so he pleaded with Vince McMahon. He was like, you know, they're gonna come and get me, they're gonna come in, and I remember McMahon was, had a big retirement for Ric Flair, and everybody's crying, and McMahon was like, I wouldn't loan my son $700,000, but for you, everything you did, I will help you. And Ric Flair was like crying and everything like that. Then I heard he sold one of his belts to Triple H like for 50 grand. It was like one of the first. And there's another belt he said. I just heard this the other day. He wants it back, but I'm saying stuff like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like what the hell are you doing with your money? Like we're number one, if you got half a brain, and I mean, it seemed like he's fairly smart, like he's not a dummy. Would the first thing you do once you get like, some real money? And I heard Mike Antonelli, he was a baseball player, up to he may be in his 30s now. He's been playing for the Astros, but they gave him like he got a signing bonus. I know professional baseball is not big time wrestling, but let me continue. He said the first thing he did was buy a house, moderate sized house for cash. Boom, done. Like moderate. It wasn't like a giant mansion that like, this crazy upkeep where it's like, 25,000 a month just to keep it going. No, moderate. Something paid off, so property tax is not that much. So like, even if you're not gonna lose it, like it's like, so it's done deal, like so you got a house now, paid off everything. Sometimes they go out, they might buy one kind of luxury kind of show off car and then have like a car that's more conservative. And then, any extra money to like, they to investors will say, hey, like, what about putting some money away into gold? There's some things that like, some things that are tangible assets, like that you can have. So like, because you're going to get old, you're not going to be able to do this forever, and the money's going to stop coming in. And so you got to make as much as you can while you're able to do this. Now, Ric Flair, he was around a long time, and he was a big draw. Everybody knows anytime a wrestler gives somebody a chop to the chest, they go, woo, it's all him. So it's a God. I mean, even if the guy was making like $1 million to $2 million a year, times that times 25 years is $50 million. Like, and I guarantee you, he's making between who knows, like we're not talking. What about commercials? What about pay-per-views? That's not much. I guarantee you, he's making more than that. I guarantee you. So I don't know what these people did with their money. I don't know. Hogan, like he said, the divorce killed him. Like but you see again, well, because I guess the wife takes half. and then the lawyers take. So like really, I think like you could get really screwed for like 2/3 of everything. I mean, it's nasty. I heard it can be really hard. They said after the divorce, he wasn't even a millionaire anymore. I mean, it was really wow. I mean, that's very hard to believe. Um, I mean, you're talking like Hogan. I mean, it's like the name is the most famous name in the history of modern. I mean, you go up to anybody, you don't even watch wrestling. You ever hear of Hulk Hogan? They go, yes. You ever hear of The Rock now because of acting, but not when he was feuding with Austin. If you weren't following, if you weren't a fan of it, you go, who's the Rock? What are you talking about? You don't know who that is. Hulk Hogan, everybody has heard of. Andre the Giant, expect when he was alive. Everybody knows. Everybody knew. Excuse me. So you're talking about a guy that Hulk Hogan was like the ultimate hero, like modern day living Superman of the 80s. So I don't understand how, people then couldn't like, put away, or what the hell are they doing? Like so much money, what are you gotta have something paid off. So I know he made a lot of money on the Gawker lawsuit. They sided with him. So he's fine now. He's good. But can you imagine, like, if he didn't win that lawsuit? And that, wow. I mean, these people can burn through a lot of cash. I've heard about it. Mike Tyson, owed my uncle's limousine company, CLS. My uncle's vice president, not the owner. Like, some ridiculous number, like hundreds of thousands. I mean, how? This is crazy. They can rack up that much in limousine charges and not pay. I don't know. I've heard of Gary Coleman, when he was alive. His parents squandered his money because he was a kid. He wasn't 18. He was actually, excuse me, he was actually older than he looked. Kid actor, it was a good show. Difference, but all those people had problems, Todd Bridges, Dana Plato killed herself. I remember that was awful. Um, Conrad Bain, good show though. He was good. Different strokes, good show. Grew up with the stuff. I mean, I know I mentioned all these people that had. I watched a thing on Jose Canseco that really. And they sit down, they try to talk to me. They said, well, you were at one point the highest paid player in baseball. You signed like a $50 million contract where it all. He goes, I can tell you exactly where all the money went. He goes, first 40% goes to taxes, like close to 40%. Your agent takes 10%. There's half is gone right there. Then you go and you buy like a nice house. So he bought like I know the guy's taste. I could see like because he got evicted from had a place in Encino. It was big. It was like a mansion, big place with giant pool and not a small house, not conservative. No, no, no. It's like you got to take the stairs to go up. I mean, it was like fucking like a little hotel or something. It was, and then he like rents. Remember, he rented something like that too. Even when he was, I mean, he lives. He's a high on the hog person. Because he was used to that lifestyle. Um, and then he played like yeah. I remember he played for the Yankees a little while, then the Rangers. I think no, no, I'm sorry, maybe not the Rangers. I know he, of course, the A's, Bash Brothers, and stuff like that. But no, no thought to um, the future, like of you're gonna get old. You're not gonna be able to do this forever, and it's like here I'll give you a dumb example. Like I make sure I have water when I wake up in the morning. I've got got like a Brita pitcher, and there's no water in there. I wake up, then I gotta wait for the. I prepared like the night before. I made sure there's water in there, so when I wake up, I can drink some water. Like it's there after I take a piss. Like I know it sounds ridiculous, but comparing that to money, but in the future, but that's you're young, and you telling me none of these people had any family, like anybody say, hey, look, just you got to put something in a no touch a little bit, like think about it. Think about this. Like a brick of gold, like now is like, I don't know, was it 700,000, 300,000? It's a lot. Like those bricks. Let's just say 600,000. Back like in 1985, one of those bricks was maybe like 60,000. And somebody that's making, millions and millions of dollars, they could buy a couple of bricks of it. It's not a big deal. And let's say just one. Say, like I'm just gonna take one of those, I'm gonna put it in a safety deposit box. So that way, when I'm old, God forbid, anything, this and that, and I can't play baseball anymore. I can't do this anymore. No one's hiring me anymore. I got nothing. You can't fathom that if you're making huge money. That's going to come to an end. But you will get old. You will get old. Time will not stop. It does keep going. And then, like, that brick is there. So after the divorce, after the career is over, after all the shit hits the fan, you lose everything. You go to that safety deposit box, you got something worth $600,000. Can you imagine having nothing, and then that's like, it's a life preserver. After the Titanic sunk, now this doesn't happen to everybody. They don't get wiped out. They don't get like what happened to Hogan, what happened to Canseco, what happened to here and there. One gold brick, that's it. But nobody tells these fucking people that. They don't know. Like they have plenty they could put away. Just look, it's the same thing with that moron with Bitcoin. He took what? 15,000 Bitcoin, and he bought like a pizza, 2 pizzas with it. One of the earliest transactions. And it's all the guy had to do was say, you know what? I'm just going to keep like one or a couple of them in my wallet, like in my thing. Forget about it, it ain't worth nothing. It ain't worth nothing. What a fucking moron, today one Bitcoin's 55 grand. What a fucking idiot, You couldn't save one enough. It's like putting a penny in a fucking thing. Just saying, what a fucking Nimrod. I mean, some of these people, man. Because they don't understand like that what happens in time. They don't care. They're living in the now. That ain't worth nothing. Who cares? Who cares? 10 years goes by like this, and then you're twiddling your thumbs. Meanwhile, Bitcoin's at $55,000, and that's all you have is a dumb story to tell, a dumb story to fucking tell that you were the guy that sold. You bought 2 pizzas for 15,000 Bitcoin, and you didn't save even one of them. You're just an idiot, you're a fucking moron. Look, I told you what I did. I'm not going to fall along those lines. Like I got, I got fucked with. I remember when XRP was 3 cents, almost to zero. They took it off of Coinbase, and this one guy, he goes, bought like 30 grand worth, and he goes, When XRP goes to $1, I'm going to sell it. I'll have $1 million. And sure enough, even like what, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, he did. Cleared $1. I think it's $1.15 right now. There you go. Now, I didn't have faith. They took it off of Coinbase, so I couldn't buy it. I was, other coins like the Graph, I was able to capitalize on, but then I got fucked because I really thought it was going to go high. I forget another one, another coin that it's not that I got greedy. You just don't know where the top is. You don't know where something's gonna level off. You don't know. It's like gambling. But what happened was, long story short, I lost with like ACH, Alchemy Pay, whatever. And I had like $200 left 3 months ago. And so you know what I said? I said, I'm putting my last $200 in Shiba Inu. Got like 28 million Shiba Inu. And I said, I'm forgetting it. I don't care. It's $200. I'll leave it in there for 10 fucking years if I'm around. I don't care. Up, down, I don't care. I don't think it's going to go to $1. It'll be 28 million. If it goes to a penny, I'd have 280 grand, right? I mean, for me, that would be not unfathomable, but it would be, it would definitely pay for my condo, 100,000 or a little more. Low HOA fees. See, because but I'm older already. I'm not like 25. I don't think, I'm thinking ahead. Now, I'm not just banking on that, but I'm saying, what if? What if? More than likely, it's not going to happen, but it could. Who thought Bitcoin would be 50 grand? So don't think, like one thing, and the Bitcoin trial that's going on right now, my friend doesn't even know about it. They're not publicizing it, but I can guarantee you, whatever decisions made on that Bitcoin, and they unlock that million Bitcoin, they decide who Satoshi really is, and that person cashes that shit out, there's going to be a big fucking, I guarantee you that price is going to fucking drop to nothing. Bitcoin's going down. $1 million, that's 1/18 of the total supply. The total supply. And that might push up all the other altcoins. I don't know. That's all I know is I took $200 and I went like this and I said, okay. And right now, I'm hoping to get it back because my account was compromised a couple months ago. So as of right now, I have zero. I have no Shiba Inu. Someone stole it. And, I was part of a thing where thousands of people, their accounts were hacked on Coinbase. So I'm not alone. But I don't worry about it. They say Coinbase is working to refund. They're working to get people back their money. Stress is a major killer, so I don't worry about any of this shit. I just want to go to school. I want to get my doctorate. I still like to dance. I like to bodybuild. I really haven't been able to forge out a career doing anything like that. I applied yesterday, I see on Indeed some jobs in Vegas, they're like training something, not a generic type gym. I mean, I don't see myself doing that, and it's kind of hard because you say, what do you see yourself doing? I don't know. My friend Ruben, he likes to draw his cards, do his cards, watch TV. He's gonna be 62 in a week, it's. But he always got to be fucking, like he can just enjoy life while you're here. Most people, they want all these responsibilities, the pets and the kids and what. I don't need any of that. I don't need any of that. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. I had to spit something out. I think, I don't know. Um, but yeah. So I guess that's all I have to say right now. I was really happy to square away that debt. That was, I mean, I had to because it's a three-win situation. Number one, I don't have to go to court. Number two, it gives me a chance that hopefully the school thing will work out, that they'll allow me to keep school going. And number three, it works to repair my credit score. So, in the past, I wouldn't care. I would have been like, fuck you people, I'm not paying nothing. I'm going, once I got that $2,800, I would have ran down the casino instead. And even if I would have won a little bit, I'd wind up losing in the end. So, that's so far, like, a little over 6 months, you know what I mean? It's in the right direction. And, I mean, sometimes you don't feel like, well, what do I got to show for it? Well, you know what? Again, the money goes to a good cause. It goes to good nutrition, not just gym membership, but, I see a nice shirt or I see something that would look good on me. I can buy new jeans all the time, get a haircut, buy the essentials, whatever I need, no problem. I don't care if something's more expensive, a couple bucks. I don't even, it doesn't faze me. I still got quite a bit of shit to pay off, credit card related. I'm not out of the hole by any means, but it was bad. I mean, at one point it was like I owed like 20 creditors and debt collections, and my phone was nonstop. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was like 50 grand. I remember it was like 50,000 at one point. I had like 15 grand cash though, and I was like, even by paying that, I still owed 35,000. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I owe about 15 right now. Still, but it's broken down, and so it's not. It's doable. It's doable to get out of the hole. And it's just it's a lifelong lesson. To understand that gambling is a fucked up. I mean, if you're just a recreational player, a little fun here and there and stuff like that, that's okay if you're not. But if you're like me, no, I was fooling myself. I was really fooling myself. You know, and you get older, just you're gonna get older, and my friend Harry told me about my grandfather. He said that, yeah, he went to Vegas, lost like 50,000 back in like the '60s. I mean, that was enough to buy a house for cash, like in Mount Olympus. Yep. I choose not to go that route. Yep. 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 Anyway, hope appreciate it. Anything got off this episode. Feel like if I help somebody out there, that's good. So, it's kind of like a Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I talk a little bit about everything. A little bit about everything that applies in my life. Might not be exactly like yours, but everything that I feel is kind of like pertinent and interesting. From education to women to money to entertainment, lifestyle. I fitness. So I cover like a little bit of everything that I feel that's kind of interesting to me, and I stay away from all the stuff that I think is like kind of toxic. That's no good. So maybe you take from whatever, like a salad bar. You take what you need, and you leave the rest. Anyway, Warrior Junior will hopefully keep the show going. Keep the show must go on. Is it P.T. Barnum said that? Vince McMahon, Vince McMahon's the modern day one.